Hi, my name is Dineo. I'm 24 years old and I'm an entrepreneur. Today I'm going to be talking about growing up as a dark-skinned girl. Growing up as a dark-skinned girl was difficult for me because during those times it was a norm that light-skinned girls are beautiful or more beautiful than dark-skinned girl. And when you're young, you start believing everything that everyone else says. So I started believing what society was saying. So I started believing that I was not beautiful. Even if someone said it, I would think they're just saying it because they wanted something or whatever the reason was. I did not believe it was because they saw the beauty in me. So I grew up with a lot of doubt. I had zero self-esteem. I had low self-confidence, and that delayed a lot of dreams. That delayed a lot of goals for me because growing up, I wanted to be a model, and I wouldn't participate in those things because I believed that I wouldn't win anyway because society says I'm not beautiful. So growing up with that mindset really delayed a lot of things for me. I started doing a lot of things later on in life when I started gaining that confidence back. But it also encouraged me to work on myself. It also made me stronger, I believe so, because had I not had the low self-esteem, I wouldn't be able to work on myself and know myself better. So I think it propelled me in a way to also refine myself and be solid in who Dineo is. So I had to work on myself. I had to do a lot of digging. I had to do a lot of searching, and I had to do a lot of building within myself, because if your insides are not as solid as they should be, then outside anything can make you crumble. So I had to really build myself and build a solid foundation based on what I think about myself, not based on what people are saying about dark-skinned women. For me, the point where I decided that, you know what, I'm not gonna listen to anyone, I'm gonna do what I feel is right for me, was in 2013 when I was in matric. That's when I started believing and knowing that not everyone's opinion of me is right, even though it's people who are far away from me, because it's what society would portray, like the media, what you see on social media. It's still there even now. Like, you can see that even though they say now melanin is popping, but there's still that space where you can still see that light skin versus dark skin, people still have a preference of light skinned women. We've seen it countless times on social media where there was debates about that. So I think as a dark skinned woman, it has to come from within. Right now you have to find strength from within, because now you can't listen to the outside voice because you will never achieve anything. So what you have to do is work on yourself, work on your self-esteem, and know by your own self that you are beautiful. You don't need validation from anybody. You don't need anybody saying to you you are beautiful for you to know that you are beautiful. And what I learned is that beauty is a matter of perspective. Beauty is preference. It's about what you prefer. So if you prefer freckles, if you prefer flat nose, if you prefer that, then you see it as beauty. So people have different preferences, and as messed up as that is, we have to accept that that's their preference, and you can't force someone to prefer something they don't want to prefer. So you have to know that it has nothing to do with you and who you are and how you were created. It's how they were created, not, it does not portray anything about you. So you have to really find yourself and know yourself and believe in yourself that you are beautiful. Your skin color does not define you. It does not define where you go or what you achieve in life. It's your birthright. It's what you were born with, and it does not determine anything for your life, whether you'll be successful or whether you won't achieve anything. So I believe that we need to work more and focus more on dark-skinned young girls and teach them that you don't need validation from anyone. You don't need someone to say, I prefer you than a light-skinned girl, to make yourself feel beautiful. That someone else's opinion should be on the last box to tick on, or on the last thing on the list. So I'd say believe in yourself, know that you're beautiful inside and outside, and continue being beautiful, and let your melanin shine all the way every day.
My name is Ofentse, and I'm doing this video for the Inside Out Girls campaign. They're doing an insecurity project. So today I'm going to be talking about my skin disorder that I'm living with and the insecurities that I've had behind my skin disorder. So please do follow the Inside Out campaign on Instagram, on Facebook, and on their YouTube channel, and check out their videos there. So today I'm going to talk about my psoriasis. I've been living with psoriasis since 2012 until now. So psoriasis is a skin disease where a person produces 3 times skin cells than a normal person. It's an incurable skin disease, but it's a manageable depending on the products that you use, because psoriasis is mostly influenced by the environment. So obviously, as seasons change, you need to change different products for it. There's no cure for psoriasis, unfortunately. So good products, good food, taking good care of yourself, then you can be able to deal with it and manage it properly. So there's different kinds of psoriasis, but the one that I have it on my face and on my scalp. So it's just dry, itchy patches that develop on your face, on your scalp. So on my face, I just have it on my eyebrows, near my nose and my mouth. And then it's mostly dominated on my scalp and behind my ears. So that's where I have most of it. So I started having psoriasis in 2012. I had it really, really tough because I was still in school then, and I had to adapt to the new lifestyle of not eating certain things because it aggravates the skin disorder. Eating new things that I never thought I'd eat in my life, So basically, with any kind of skin disorder, even if you have acne, you will have insecurities, because people are just so stereotyped when it comes to skin diseases, because you get different questions, different advices. And I think with the Black community, skin issues are a huge problem that we are very far from getting them sorted, because we have strong beliefs that when a person has a certain skin disorder, then there must be something that is not right in the family in terms of genetics, and all that. So other skin disorders are not something that you get from your mother or your father, but basically the environment that you live in creates a huge impact on the skin disorder that you might have. Like with psoriasis, it doesn't want a humid environment. Too much moisture makes it worse at certain points. So I think basically we need to learn to live with people that have different skin disorders and try to understand and learn more about what they have physically. So in 2013, when we officially got the full information to say this is what you have and there's no treatment for this, my life took a huge turn, because now I had to align my mind to say this is what I'm living with and it's not curable and I need to change my lifestyle. So at some point it was not so easy because I'm still in school, and when you're in school and you're doing grade 10, people don't understand. You can't come and say I have psoriasis. For one, some people can't even pronounce it. So when you say I've got psoriasis, this is why I look like this. Because my psoriasis gets really, really bad during winter. So I get really, really light in complexion on my face, and it comes to the face very strongly. So it was an issue of winter time was the hardest time for me, more than summer, spring, and autumn, because it's winter, it's cold, the air is dry, so it really affected me. And I wasn't going to say I'm staying home and not going to school, because people ask me questions. Why do I look like this on the face? Why do I have dry, flaky skin? Because if there's too much wind, because it's flaky, so basically it just becomes flaky. So I had to deal with a lot of questions that I couldn't answer, because then yet I didn't understand my skin disorder that I was suffering from at that moment. So it was very difficult for me to even have a conversation to say I've got psoriasis. It was a difficult conversation for me to have with people who wouldn't even understand, until I can find a certain product that's good for me during that season. So whatever that's good for me in spring can be good for me in winter. So I had to adapt to that, to say I need to try a lot of products before I can find the exact product that works for me. So it was it affected me financially, because of prescribed dermatological products are really expensive, and seeing a dermatologist on its own, it's really expensive. So it really was a challenge. So I took my insecurity and I made something out of it. I was very insecure about my skin, and working and going to school, I had no other choice but to adapt, to say this is what's happening in my life and I need to find a way, how to do this. So in 2018, officially, I started some treatment, and unfortunately I had to cut my hair off. So every year during June, July, and August, I cut my hair for the treatment, and because that's where it gets more aggravated at that time of the year. That's where it seriously becomes worse. So in 2018, I started cutting my hair and starting this treatment. And then in 2019, I officially took my insecurity and said, well, if I've got a skin disorder that people don't know about, then I can create a platform to raise awareness about this skin disorder. And then I started the campaign of living with skin disorders in style. And I it really, really changed my perspective about my skin disorder, because I saw it as something that I had to live with. But then there's a certain point where it was like, no, I can make this into something that can change other people's life. So I started the campaign in 2019 So the Living with Skin Disorders in Style campaign is basically we raise awareness about different skin disorders. So we create a platform for people to come and talk about their skin disorders, how they live with them, how are they responding to community, if you have vitiligo, if you have scarring acne, if you have a serious cases of acne or psoriasis or melasma, we come together and we share our stories and our experiences about certain skin disorders, and we invite everybody, even if you don't have a skin disorder, but because we're raising awareness for people to learn about skin disorders. So that's how the campaign came about. I overcame my insecurity by creating a platform for other people to come and share their stories about different skin disorders so that they can also overcome their insecurities with regards to their skin disorders, to share their life experiences. How do they cope in workplaces? How do they cope in school? How do they explain what they have? So my insecurity created something very huge, and Living with Skin Disorders in Style, it's a very big campaign that we are running, and I'm very happy that I was able to overcome and not let my skin disorder get to me. It gave me something that uplifted me in terms of my self-esteem. It gave me something that uplifted me emotionally. And I even forgot about how I look physically when my psoriasis gets worse. So insecurities are there to make us grow, to say, I don't have a beautiful body. I don't have big breasts. I don't like how my eyes look. That's insecurities show us how unique we are as people, and I think that's the starting point of us identifying the superpower that is within us. Your insecurity defines who you really are as a person. If you feel that you're lacking, if you feel that you're not fit enough, that slim body is a superpower for a certain thing, because we can't all look the same, but we need to look unique. Like I am unique. I produce triple time skin cells like a normal person. So if I could donate, I would, but I can't. So it's taking your insecurity and making it a lifestyle, that you discover what is hidden within that insecurity. As I discovered that my insecurity with my skin disorder can make me create a platform for people to change how they think about their own insecurities. So it's a chain to say, I discovered something powerful in my insecurity about my skin disorder. What can you discover in your insecurity? So insecurities lead us to self-discovery and our true superpower as human beings, So I am very much grateful that I was given this platform to talk about my insecurities and my skin disorder. I hope that this video will encourage other people that are suffering from any skin disorder and that are having issues with any insecurities about any part of their body or whatever that they have insecurities about, to say, your insecurity, it's your superpower, and that will make you to reach greater heights. So remember, for you to be able to do good in life, you need to learn from what is within you, what is invested in you, and then you will be able to say, I can overcome certain things. And yeah, guys, so please do follow Inside Out on Instagram, YouTube, and on their Facebook page. Thank you very much for listening to my story, and I hope it really touched a lot of people, and I hope it does give someone hope out there to say, my insecurity is my superpower. Thank you very much for this opportunity. Bye.
I think the thing about insecurities is that there's something that we all kind of have to contend with, I think, pretty much on a daily basis. I think that insecurities are something that sort of, follow you, I think, throughout your life. no human being on this planet, I think, is safe from feeling insecure about something at some point in their lives. And for me, I found ways to just kind of accept myself for who I am. And that's really helped immensely in ensuring that those insecurities don't take over my entire life. In terms of insecurities I had in varsity, well, I would say, it was just general insecurities, I guess, around, relationships in general. Am I good enough? When I went to uni, I was about like 17, turning 18. So very, very clueless about who I was as a person and really just trying to discover who I was. I had so many insecurities around my intelligence. Not so much because I was comparing myself to other people, but more so because I was just competing with myself. I can be pretty hard on myself, and I do struggle a lot with just, self-confidence. It's only, in recent years that I've sort of come into my own and really come to accept myself for who I am. And that was not an easy journey at all. So I think one of the things that I did to sort of not really overcome those insecurities, but kind of learn to live with them was just first and foremost, just living with them. Just accepting that I had them, I think was the first step. Just acknowledging that they were there and they existed helped me kind of have some sort of power over them. I've also had quite a few insecurities around my mental health as well, and my struggles with anxiety and depression too. It's been very difficult for me to come to terms with it. But I'm in a place in my life where I embrace the awkward in me. I embrace the anxious in me, so to speak. I embrace the fact that I've been a late bloomer in a few areas of my life, because that has been part of my journey in life. And that has shaped me into the person and the young woman that I am today. And I'm so thankful for even the negative experiences, because those have been the most pivotal moments when I've triumphed and when I've come into my own as a person. Those insecurities around my intelligence, around being a late bloomer, around just being a bit of an awkward kid, I just came to embrace that. And it did take some time, even after varsity, after my undergrad. It was still a journey towards, again, just being comfortable with being just my awkward, strange self. I then came to just embrace the parts of myself that I did like a lot, that I didn't have as many insecurities around, and focus a lot of my energy on building myself up in those areas. What a lot of people misunderstand is that confidence is not loud and out there and boisterous and crazy. It can be like that sometimes, but for the most part, confidence is it's a feeling from within, and that will often be quite evident from how you carry yourself throughout life. You don't have to be the loudest person in the room to be a confident person. You can also be a very quiet person and still be very, very secure in who you are. Another thing to remember as regards becoming more self-confident is that, it takes time, and you shouldn't be too hard on yourself if you feel like you're struggling to kind of get that self-confidence. It's not an easy thing to have sometimes. And many different factors and many different people in your life can influence how you see yourself and can influence how much confidence you have in yourself. So it's also very important to remember that you are human. Remember that there are many different factors that may weigh against you. It could be gender, it could be race, it could be a lot of different things that make it difficult for you to attain the level of self-confidence that you would like to have. But it is possible. And what that entails is simply just acknowledging that it's going to take some time, and for you to just take those baby steps to work on yourself constantly. And for me, it's been difficult. It's been very, very hard. And it's taken a lot. It's taken me stumbling and hitting rock bottom and being in unfulfilling relationships and unfulfilling friendships, and being in a position where I've just felt less than and inadequate in order for me to kind of build myself up again and get to this place where I'm secure and comfortable in being the awkward human being that I am, in being the late bloomer that I've been for most of my life, in just embracing everything that makes me uniquely me and looking at all my life experiences as things that have built me as opposed to things that have destroyed me. So if I could sum it up to 3 things. Number 1, overcoming your insecurities entails embracing who you are as a person, or your strengths, your flaws, your weaknesses, everything that makes you unique, everything that makes you the person that you are today. Number 2 is also surrounding yourself with people that are inspirational and who will uplift you and who will also push you to be a better person every day. And number 3, I'd say it's about identifying and acknowledging those insecurities and finding ways that you can make them work for you. Thank you so much, Inside Out Girls Campaign, for allowing me to share part of my story and part of my journey and to just speak on this very, very important issue.